And we're ready to go. So thanks everybody for being here. If you're joining us live, if you're not, thanks for joining in after the fact. Today we've got our episode 37, Breakout EDU and Digital Breakouts. And we're with, lucky to have Jamie Gardner from UEN, our state resident digital breakout expert. She wrote the book and taught the class, and I just took it to suck in some of that knowledge. But we're going to give you a little brief overview of what breakouts are, what the digital breakouts are today, and point you in the right direction if you want to learn some more. So again, I'm Clint Stevens. Hopefully you know who I am if you're here today. And again, Jamie Gardner. Where did you teach before coming to UEN, Jamie?
Yeah, I was a business and financial lit teacher at Cypress High School out in Magna, Utah. So
Cypress, okay.
Cypress, yeah. A fun little fact about me, I actually taught at my own high school. So
wow.
I also graduated from Cypress. It was a good time.
Cool. I did my student teaching at Brockbank.
Ooh, another one of my alma maters right
there.
Yeah? Something we've never talked about.
Maybe I student taught you.
I don't know about that. Huh?
That's crazy.
Rick Gaisford actually taught at my elementary school. So
that's so
lots of connections out that way. So
inside baseball. Sorry, everybody. All right, so let's get in here. So why? I always like to start these sessions off with the why. I know it's important for teachers to know, why we're introducing something or what's in it for them. So those 21st century skills are so hard to get at sometimes with your normal curriculum and the stuff most of us do day to day. But Breakout EDU is meant to be kind of an alternative kind of platform activity. Some teachers use it as an activity at the end of the unit. Some use it to introduce a unit, kind of a good assessment of skills, but just a great way to get to creativity, communication, collaboration, and critical thinking. And if you've ever done or tried to do an escape room, I'm sure that you were trying to dig deep into a lot of those different skills. So we did one as a team in St. George several years ago, and admittedly, we did the tough one. And they said they were being nice. They said we were about 5 minutes away from breaking out, but it was tough. But there are lots of different breakout activities for all different ages and skill levels, and just about any curriculum or topic you can think of. You're only really limited by your imagination, or if you can find other smart educators that share the great ideas, you can jump on their coattails and learn from them. So it's a physical game kit and platform where students work together to solve puzzles, to open a lockbox. So instead of locking students in a room, which most people frown upon, we're locking something inside a box and then trying to let the students break out or break into the box to break out of the game. So there are lots and lots of different. Again, there's the platform itself is kind of a database. I've got a slide on the platform here next. But there's lots and lots and lots of games that you can find on lots of different topics. And again, those, letting people in. Those activities keep student focus on those critical thinking and social emotional skills that are really necessary to solve some complex problems. So the physical kit, if you want to do these games in person with physical locks and activities and things like that, you can buy them from breakoutedu.com. It involves a couple of different boxes, a hasp, which will allow you to close up a big box and lock that with multiple locks. There's a UV flashlight, a black light pen, a key lock, number locks, 3 and 4 digit number locks, and then these different multi-locks that can be shapes or color or words or lots of different things. And there's these little star-shaped things on the right. They're actually different lock reels that you can put on and customize and really make that lock whatever you need it to be. If you're smart enough and ingenious enough and can get around Amazon well enough, you can build one yourself. Or you can, if you want to just give it a try, SEDC has 3 different kits that you can check out from us and try out first. And we usually do what they call the I do, we do, you do with these kits. So if you're interested, let me or Chris know. We'll come in and actually do an activity. We'll work with you and figure out a good time with the right curriculum and whatever you want to challenge your students with. And then we'll set up the locks. We'll walk you through it, and we'll be the facilitator for that first time through. And then throughout the day or the next time we come, we'll work together with you to help you, set up the locks, set up the kit, set up the room, so that you can manage your own. And then you're on your own, and you can use our kits whenever you want. If it's something that you fall in love with and want to do, on I won't say ongoing basis, but many, many times, a month or a year, then we'd ask you to buy your own kit or make one for yourself. So any questions out there on what Breakout is, or what the kit is, or the kind of, I know it's a little, we're actually gonna do a digital game here in a bit, but it might be a little hard to wrap your brain around. But are there any questions right now? Anything in the chat, Jamie, can you see? Or if you want to unmute your microphone, if you have a question, happy to answer it now. Nothing in the chat.
You did a great job explaining, Clint. I do actually have a box here in my office that if anyone is curious, at the end, I can show you that. And if you have any questions about more details about how it works. But I think that, how Clint explained it is awesome. Just an actual box that you can hook a lot of locks to. And the point is to solve all of the puzzles to then unlock the locks and open the box. So yeah, fun way to implement the 4 C's.
Great, thanks, Jamie. And so there's a platform that Breakout EDU maintains. It used to be free, but now, just like anything great in the world, it seems that it's a paid for kind of subscription thing. But it's really worth it. If you do more than 2 or 3 activities a year, it really is great. There is a database that you can search by grade level, by subject, by group type, adults, middle school, elementary. If you want to do something that's related to, Halloween, we just passed, and we'll do a digital activity that's based on Halloween. Thanksgiving, Christmas, all kinds of fun stuff. And if you're curious, SEDC does maintain an account. So if you want to know, hey, what does Breakout have on X, Y, or Z, just shoot me or Chris an email, and Jamie too, I'm sure, be happy to search an activity for you and just say, hey, there's 3, 4, 5 different physical games and X many, digital games that are based on, or that could work for that grade level or area. So, but they do all of the games and activities on the Breakout EDU platform, and Jamie, you may be able to speak better to this, have been vetted or at least reviewed by the company for quality. So I know they do have a way to teachers submit their own, but it does go through a review process first.
Yeah, so Breakout does have some games that you can access for free if you sign up for an account, but it's a very limited number of games. They do always put out holiday games, as Clint mentioned, and then there are some content aligned games that were created by different Breakout EDU users. So they'll usually say like user created, but they have done a good job of going through their entire platform and trying to align them to standards, or at least make sure that they're very specific to the right grade level and the correct topic. If not, all of them are aligned. Also, Clint mentioned that they have a subscription. I teach a Breakout EDU course, a digital course, and we'll talk more about digital breakouts. And for the 6 weeks that you are enrolled in the UEN course, you get a subscription to Breakout EDU. So after today, if you think like, wow, this is great, I want to learn more about this, you can take the 6-week course. You get relicensure credit or SUU credit for it, and you can try the full subscription of Breakout EDU for 6 weeks.
Perfect.
Yeah. So jumping into digital breakout. So a physical breakout, you have your box with all of your physical locks and a whole bunch of clues that you've created. And usually those clues are a combination of physical, like paper, or envelopes full of things, puzzles. The blacklight marker is really fun. There's a red decoder. I don't know if you guys remember that back in your cereal box back in the day, but a red decoder as well. So it's very hands-on. A digital breakout is generally contained within a device. So it's either linking to a website where you've created a whole bunch of clues. It might be a Google slide deck. The game we're going to play today is built in a Google form, which a lot of times that's how we recreate the box with all of the locks is by using a Google form. So lots of free ways to set up digital breakouts, and there are hundreds of them on the Breakout EDU website. And Clint will also share some more resources where you can find them. So kind of to just the differences, some of the good, the bad about digital breakouts versus what Clint described with the physical breakouts. A digital breakout is going to be really easy to set up. There's no locks to reset. There's no clues to hide. It's all just contained in a device, and your students can usually play it on an iPad, a desktop, a Chromebook, any device that they have. They're free to make and play. If you don't want to buy a subscription to Breakout EDU, you can always find free resources. Most of the time we use Google resources. You have more flexibility in a digital breakout to customize the locks. In a physical breakout, your lock is only so big. So you might only have a 3-number lock or a 4-number lock, or maybe a 5-color lock or a 5-word lock. But with a Google form, you could ask your students to solve a 10-letter word or an entire phrase. You could have, 7 colors or maybe a combination of letters and numbers as well. So you have a lot more customization of your locks, which makes building clues a whole lot easier. You still have your focus on the 4 C's and SEL, and also perseverance comes up a ton when students play Breakout. Totally. It's a little bit mind bending, so they really have to dig in and stick with it. The other cool thing about digital breakouts is that although we promote playing them in groups, I say groups of maybe 3 or 4, so that you're hitting on all of the 4 C's, they can be played individually as like a fast finisher activity, or it can be given to students through Canvas or Google Classroom and sent out, electronically. So some good benefits over the physical breakouts. The loss of clue types is definitely something that's not all that fun. You can't use a blacklight marker on a digital breakout, and believe me, the kids love that thing. So that's kind of tough. Some of those physical, real hands-on elements are lost in a digital breakout. And you have to be really creative in how you celebrate when students break out. Because once they hit the submit button, the only thing that happens is a little screen pops up that says, congratulations, but there's not any real excitement. Whereas when you physically unlock that last lock and you open the box, there's some excitement there. So there are ways around that, some things that you can do. We always put a bell at the top. Students, once they break out, they can run up and shake the bell. So lots of different options to kind of combat that one. But just a few things for you to know about the difference between a digital and a physical breakout. And you can always make these a combo deal, right? If you love physical clues, but you don't have the locks, well, then make a Google form as your lockbox. If you, want to do all digital clues, but have a box and want to set up the locks that way, just make a combo. So lots of options to share between those two.
Yep.
And I think Clint has a digital game for us to share.
Ooh.
Yeah. So if you guys want to go ahead and click on that link.
I'll drop it in the chat too. So this is a game built by the great people at Ditch That Textbook. Can't take credit for it, but they've got a page, and I'll share the page here in a bit, but they've got a page of free resources that you can give a try to. And I will open this link up, and I will reshare my screen so that we can see that window. Give me a sec. And it's right there. Apologize for my dogs.
I just sent a text to my kids to come and get mine. So I hear you. So what you're looking at here is a digital breakout that was built using a Google form. So at the top, you have some instructions, maybe a clue hidden in there. Then there's an image that goes along with the breakout game. And then down below, you have 4 different lock combinations that you're trying to solve. So looking at the description and the image, you're going to try and find a 7-letter word lock, a 4-digit number lock, a 6-directional lock, and a 5-color lock. So I don't know, Clint, how much time you want to give people to try this, or if you want me to just explain it.
Let's do the first one together. And then
does anyone have any thoughts or ideas on that first one? Let's
talk it through. So 7-letter word lock. So we need capital letters, no spaces, but where in what we've been given, does anyone see 7 letters that might stand out? And you can turn on your mic or put it in the chat. Let me open up the chat, make sure I'm watching that. You didn't know we'd be asking you to actually like talk and do stuff today, did you guys? All right, so maybe we'll explain the first one and then give you guys a couple minutes to dig on the rest of them. So 7 letters, when that, reading that first description up there at the top, to me, I can see that there's some letters that are capitalized, but kind of out of sequence, right? And so we see there's an O, there's a T, a C, an E, O, B, R. Those are them. Are there 7 of those? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. But if we just put those letters in, will you read those to me, Jamie?
Yeah, sorry, I've got a barking dog here. If you read the letters, it's O-T-C-E-O-B-R.
Okay, so if I switch, try again. So October. That's the cool thing about these Google Forms, is that you can put in what's called a response validation, and it will check to see if you've got it right. Oh, look at the folks in the chat coming through with October. All right, so the word's scrambled and it doesn't mean anything like that. So if I put in O-C-T-O-B-E-R and switch to the next clue, we passed it. So sweet. So any ideas on the 4-digit number lock? So is there anywhere where we've got numbers of things on the image? And I think we're done with the description. So the rest of the clues come from that image. Can anyone find anywhere that has some numbers that we could try to punch in? Or if we just want to give you guys, let's just talk through them. That's fine. Okay, Jimmy's got a suggestion, 7484. Let's see if that works. 7484. That did work. Jimmy, how'd you figure that out?
The number of bats. I counted the bats.
Well done. So 7 in a group, 4, 8, 4. And the order, we just got it from straight left to right. Sweet. So what about a directional lock? Who can give me some directions to try? And I'll type it in. And I just need like the first letter of the direction. So up, down, left, right.
And Clint, this is a good example of a lock that you wouldn't be able to do using the Breakout EDU physical locks. They only go up to 5 locks.
Yep.
So this would be one, that 7-word lock, and now this directional lock, you can really customize using a Google form.
Oh, Jimmy's given us another one. Anyone else want to give me a suggestion? We don't want to let anyone dominate the ideas here. But I can try that one. Down, right. Oh, Tyler's coming through. Down, right, up, left, right, down. Good. Oh, it looks like it took it. Well done. How'd you figure that out, Tyler?
just seeing the directions on the tombstones down there. Pretty simple.
Down, right, up, sweet. Yeah, this is an elementary level activity, so I'm sure you guys are going to crush this one really quickly. So, and then the 5 color lock. Oh, Jimmy's coming through with yellow, purple, orange, orange, yellow. Oh, I think it liked that one too. Those are all of our locks, and she got that, I'm guessing, from the color of the noses on the pumpkins. So well done, everyone, on that. Let's click on the next to see if there's anything else. Ooh, we escaped. If you want this badge to put on your email, it's a little late. I'm sorry, you know, I'm a couple of days late for Halloween, but that's a nice, simple, quick idea, or an example of a digital breakout that can be just a fun little, again, a bell ringer or an exit ticket, or just something fun for your kids to experiment with. So, any other comments or reflections on that activity there? Okay. And those came from, I didn't put that link here in the, oh yeah, I did. Those came from, again, Ditch That Textbook. He was, Matt Miller was our USET keynote speaker, pre-COVID. So that's almost 3 years ago. Now, great author, has some great resources there on ditchthattextbook.com. And then I've linked in there the free digital breakout page. They've got some coming up for I believe fall and Thanksgiving and Christmas and things like that. So you can give those a try. Those are totally free. Or if you want to try to dig in and explore and create some for yourself, you have resources there to work on and move forward with. So, Jamie, any comments you want to add to that, or?
No, I think that's a really great list of resources that you've included. Ditch That Textbook had a lot more than I realized, so that was really great. You can find them on Teachers Pay Teachers, which I don't know how you feel about that, but there is also a Facebook group for Breakout EDU. They used to share a lot of resources on their Facebook group, but they've kind of cut back a little bit now that you have to pay for the platform. So it is still out there. And I think that on one of Clint's, I'm not sure, he had a resource there where he linked to, the HyperDoc, the Breakout EDU HyperDoc.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I got lost here in my windows here. I made my window full screen and not just that guy. Okay. Apologies. We'll be back here shortly. And my buddy Cosmo wants to come and say hi. So hi, Cosmo. What are you doing? Huh? Okay. I'm back to Zoom. Now I need to find my window. Oh man. I have too many desktops and too many tabs. Oh, it's okay. I'll just talk to you. All right. Yeah, we're just on a slide. If you have any other questions or anything anyone has to ask there. Are we still there? Are you guys still connected?
So so you have a couple of resources right here. There's other places that kind of show you how to make these breakout things. Because obviously, you know, with a music teacher, I'm going to have to create fun music ones.
Yeah, so there are some links on the HyperDoc to help you learn more about creating clues. And on the Breakout EDU website, I believe if you have even the free account, they'll talk to you about different clue types and designing clues. If it doesn't, then I would for sure borrow Clint's login or ask him to send you some of those links. If you take the 6-week course from UEN, then we cover designing clues, different clue types. The unfortunate part is that it takes a lot of creativity. That's really what it is. And knowing your content area, there's no like magic formula as to how to create clues. It's just knowing your content and then coming up with some ideas. But I think that on that HyperDoc, there are some different lock types to help you get started. And then in the Breakout EDU website, you'll find resources.
Let me make sure I give you guys the link for the slides again. I've found my Zoom window, so I'm saved. There's the slides that has all the links. I'm on slide number 10 there. It has a link to Breakout EDU, the platform. Again, that requires a login. But if you'd like us to search something, let me know. Link to ditch that textbook, the escape rooms, this hyperdoc, and I'll show that quickly. And if we're actually going to talk about hyperdocs later on this month. But what a hyperdoc is it is a, have you guys seen this little thumbnail? I'm not sure why it's not opening. Oh, there we go, in a new window. Welcome page, how to purchase a kit, how to facilitate ones, hint cards, lock boxes on Pinterest, how to reset locks. There's all kinds of, different paths you can dig into from that hyperdoc.
And I'll also add that I feel like designing games, it's hard at first, and then it gets easier as you know more clue types. But I always tell teachers that I feel like this is kind of like when you teach students to build a resume. The first time, they really need to see some examples first. So I would encourage you to just play some of the games on Ditch That Textbook or play the free games on the Breakout EDU website. And that's really going to help you better understand different clue types to start putting together your own game. And really the first time I created a breakout, I kind of did the backwards by design idea. I knew the objectives or the standard that I wanted to teach. And then I thought about what fun locks I wanted to use, and then tried to start matching my content to how I could come up with those clues. So, and really just fix it, change it, rearrange it, some of the clue types that I'd already seen.
Great. And again, yeah, so we're, UEN is going to offer that course in January, either the first or second half of the semester. And then SEDC will offer it in July. If you're taking our EdTech endorsement courses or on our list, I'll send out that information and we'll be offering that then. So any other questions from anybody? Don't see anything in the chat. That was fun. I appreciate that. The breakouts are a lot of fun. And again, they do help with those problem solving skills and creativity and collaboration and what else? Next week, we're talking about hyperdocs and choice boards. So that was a good introduction for that. Next, after that, we'll kind of walk through the Canvas for elementary, those options that are available there. I'm mixed on, I might do a pre-recorded one to send out on Thanksgiving, or might just take the week off. And then the last week of Thanksgiving or of November, we'll do GIM Kit. That was one that was requested by some teachers. And real quick, before we wrap things up, again, I'd like to mention the Utah Ed Chat. Tomorrow's topic is developing accurate and inclusive understandings of Indigenous peoples. It is, it's Indigenous Peoples Month, I believe. And so they're bringing in Dr. Connor Warner. I forgot to put in his Twitter. Sorry about that. Is it there? It still works. I just didn't change it. It's Connor R. Warner there. So that should work for you still. And then we've got the UEN Homeroom podcast. Danny Sloan, Matt Winters do a great job with bringing in some other options for anywhere, anytime learning. Fun to listen to while you're mowing the lawn. We're not really mowing the lawns anymore, are we? But vacuuming the house or going on a little drive for work. So I did drop the role into the form for the role into the chat there. So please get that signed. We'll post the recording. Whoops, it's going backwards on me. At the same place we always do, bit.ly/SEDC archive, capital T's. And thanks so much. I appreciate you guys coming and stopping by. We have a minute left exactly. But anyone have any questions on breakouts or anything else? Jamie and I are happy to answer anything EdTech that we can for you. Otherwise, if not, make sure you sign the roll and we'll hopefully see you next week.
Thank you, Claire.
You bet. Thanks for coming. Any other questions?